Hello everybody, this is Stefan Petersen from Aarhus University in Denmark. In this video I would like to explain you how we made the ICEbear installer for SketchUp. The reason is that I just want to show you that nothing harmful to your computer is happening when you install these things. It's actually just extracting and putting some documents and files on your computer. It's not changing your registry or anything, or planting anything nasty on your computer. That's one of the things. The other thing is that this could also be helpful to other people who want to make a similar installer for their program. I'm using only free tools to do these things and some old school bad programming. And yeah, it's as easy as that. And for the recording of this video, I just used the feature that is inside PowerPoint here with the screen recording. So the program that we use for making the installer is an embedded program in Windows called ICEbear. So let me just open that one. ICEbear. Here we go. There, and it's a small wizard-like tool, and it's actually quite easy to use, but there are some tweaks and tricks that you need to know before it can actually work, this thing. One thing was that now I just opened it ordinarily. I had some problems in the beginning where when I went to the end of this installer, it was not possible for me to compile things. And what I found out from Internet Forums was that if you run it as administrator, it would eliminate the problem. And that was also the case for me. So let me try again and show you how to open it as administrator to avoid any problems. So I'll just cancel this one. And then we try again, ICEbear. And then I right click on that, and then I get this option of run as administrator, and I say, I just click that one, and I say yes to that one. And then it opens just as before, but now apparently it's as an administrator, which eliminates some problems for some. And you can see in this installer you can create self-extracting directive files, which is exactly what we want to do. I already have made this for the ICEbear, so I just want to open a file that we already have, and then I'll just take you through that file, what it is that we put in it. So let me just browse for that one. Let's see, it's in this directory. Here is the file containing all the information. And here I will just go into modify this file that we're looking at all right now. So when you start to make your own stuff, you will get to this page as the first thing when you press next. And here you have to choose what it is that you want to do. So if you just want to make an installer that extracts files, then you have to choose this middle option. I think that's could be useful, but it's also a little bit like some of the zipping tools that we have around. I think the benefit here is that you can target the folder that you want to install stuff in. But what we want to do is not just extract files in one location. We want to extract files, and then we want to distribute these files into different locations. And I actually had a hard time finding out how to do that, but we can do this through the ICEbear wizard and through some bad programming. So I choose this on the top here, extract files, and run an installation command. And we go to next. And then you just have to give a name to your project that you do here. In our case it would be ICEbear SketchUp Make 2017. And then you have the option of you can prompt the user with a message before they continue to install, or you can just say no, I don't want to do that, I just want to go ahead and install. Here we prompt the user with a short message because there are some stuff you need to be aware of before you can use ICEbear. You will need to install other stuff. So we click next, and you can actually also add some license agreements. So you can license your package, but if you don't, you can just say don't display a license. And in the case of ICEbear, it's free and it's open source. We actually encourage people to engage and do stuff together with us. So we don't have any license. So we go next. And here we have to specify the files that need to be packed. And now I can just show how we did here. You press add, and then you just choose the files that you want inside your installer. In our case, it would be all of these files. It would be this one, and it would be that, and this one down here. And then a very important one called, in our case, run me, which is the bat file that will distribute your unpacked files later. So very important file to include as well. Alright, so we choose these and we press open, and now they are all on the list here. Then we move to next, and here it's very, very important that you write a code like this for your bat file that is used to distribute your extracted files into libraries. You need to write it like this. You can also find the bat file here on the drop down, and if you just choose it on this list, it won't really work. So you have to write this cmd/c and then the name of your bat file like this. Yeah, that's just very important. I had to figure this one out from internet forums here and there, so this is very important. Alright, and you can also have a post-install command. In our case, we don't want to do anything after stuff is installed, so it's an install command that we want to do. And then we press next, and then you can choose whether you want to have this installation program windows, whether they should be, there's a default, you can hide them, you can minimize them, you can maximize them. I just go with the default here. I haven't tried the other options, but I don't think it's so interesting. And then you can also display a finish message, or you can choose not to. We chose to have a short message for that. And then we press next. And then you have to specify on your computer where you want to put your new exe file for this package of files and installation, and what you want to name it. In our case, the name is ICEbear SketchUp Make 2017 exe. And yeah, we go next. Sometimes some installation needs to restart the computer before you can do something. Maybe you changed something in the registry, maybe you didn't. You can choose different options here. In our case, there's no need for restart. So we could choose no restart. We could also just have only restart if needed. In any case, in our situation, it won't restart anything. It's not needed. Yes, and then we can press next. And now we are actually ready for. Oh no, sorry. We have to. We have the option of saving this setting of the installation file that I have just been doing. So it's good if you want to use it later and change stuff later, or you can choose not to save it. So we have chosen to save it somewhere. And then we press next again, and then we're actually ready to create the package that we want to do here. And then we just press next, and then boom, it created the package. And that's basically it to make this package. So I'll just press finish here. Now to some very important stuff, because you may remember that I put this bat file into the package, and this bat file is the file that ensures that the unpacked files are distributed into different libraries, which is necessary for our installation. So let me just show you that bat file. So it is here, and you can always edit those in an ordinary text editor. So I'll just open it here in Edit, and this is the bat file. And inside here we make two new directories, which has to be inside the user's SketchUp. The first one is ICEbear materials folder, and the other one is inside plugins, where it will make a folder called ICEbear. And once it has done that, it will start to move files from the unpacked installer into these different folders that we just created. So for example here, on this line here, move. So what the installer does is that it unpacks all the files in a temporary folder located on your user profile, appdata/local/temp/ this name here, and it will unpack all these files that we have put in the installer. So you can see it's basically just some files that is unpacked on a temporary folder. So we want to take those files and distribute them into different libraries inside SketchUp. So for example, the ICEbear.ruby extension here is moved from the temporary folder into the SketchUp 2017 plugins folder, and so on. There's a picture that needs to be in the new ICEbear folder, and all these material files needs to be put into the new materials library. And this one is just executed as a part of your installation package, so it will distribute the files to the right locations. So we can use ICEbear like that. And that's basically it. Let me just show you what happens when we open the installer. So if I go to the package that we made here, this is actually the exe file that we created. This is the project we can open later again if we want to have a look at it again. But this is the installer that does the things that I just explained to you. Let me just shut this one down. All right. So let me open my SketchUp folders. So what we want to do is inside SketchUp up here in this path we have right here. I want to, inside this SketchUp materials, I want a new folder here called ICEbear materials. And inside plugins, I want a new file called ICEbear with a certain file inside of that one. And then, and then of course I need the Ruby file, ICEbear Ruby file to be in here as well. So let's see if my installer does as it is supposed to do. So I'll just double click the installer. And then I get this start message here where it explains that you have to have SketchUp on your computer before you can do this thing, and you also need to install ICEbear program itself before you can do anything from SketchUp. And if you have any problems, you can always email me. Yeah, we'll just press yes to that one. And that's it. Now it made its installations. Happy simulations. Okay, let's say okay to that one. And then let's go and have a look whether it put the files where it's supposed to do. So first of all, in plugins, yes, now the Ruby file is there. It made the ICEbear folder, and inside that one we have an icon. Very good. And then in the materials we should have a new library. Yeah, we do, and it should have all the files needed for that. And now, just to make completely sure that it works, I will just open SketchUp to see if the plugin is there and whether it's running as it is supposed to do. So let me just open SketchUp. Alright, start using SketchUp. It's a bit slow. Here we go. Well, still thinking. Alright, yes. So here are the ICEbear materials that I defined before. So they have put where they're supposed to be put. And also up here we have the ICEbear link for opening the program. So everything seems to be in place. Let me just do a quick test of whether everything works. So let me make a simple shoebox room to simulate. Let's do something like this. A window in it. And then we color this is an external facade. This is a window. And this is some ground floor, not facing anything adiabatic. I think that's it. So what should happen now when I press up here is that it should open ICEbear and transfer this geometry into the tool. So let's see what happens. Alright, very good. So let's just check whether the geometry is there. Oh yes, everything is here. So now it works. Now you can start to work with ICEbear through SketchUp. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was useful not only to people using ICEbear in SketchUp, but also for people who want to make an installer for their own programs. So yeah, once again, thanks for listening and see you out there.